So our next speaker is Mr. Ashish who is Scientist C and Deputy Director, the Bureau of Indian Standards, BIS.
I'm Ashish Wakle, Scientist C from Metallurgical Technical Department, Bureau of Indian Standards. So what I'll do is I'll just give you a brief overview of BIS, what BIS does, and the roles of standards in addressing sustainability. So Bureau of Indian Standards is the national standards body of India. So we have the responsibility to make standards in the country. It is established under the Act, BIS Act 2016. Earlier it was under BIS Act 1986. Now it is under BIS Act 2016. Our objective is for the harmonious development of the activities of standardization, marking, quality certification of goods, services, and processes. So we have 5 core activities. The main activity is standardization, in which we make standards related to products, steel products, cement products, various fields are there. I'll be showing in the next slides. Conformity assessment, wherein we give licenses against that standards. Then laboratory activity. Laboratory activity is to support the certification activity. Hallmarking, training, and consumer protection. So this is the brief footprint of BIS all over the country. We have headquarters in Delhi. We have 5 regional offices. In Mumbai, Western Regional Office. In Chennai, Kolkata, Chandigarh, and Central Office in Delhi. So this is standard formulation. So standard formulation is a consultative process of identifying, analyzing, compiling, and harmonizing the requirements that are desirous of a product, process, or system that help us to achieve tangible and intangible acceptations. So basically, standardization is a very democratic process in which all the stakeholders are involved. So whenever we are making standard, for example, if you're making a standard for a cement, so all the stakeholders, the regulators, the consumers, and the laboratories are involved. So through consensus approach and keeping the consumer interest in mind, the standards are formulated. So we have total 15 division councils. So for our topic is civil engineering. Civil engineering is there, then chemical, electronics and information technology. Then my department is metallurgical engineering. So we have total 15 division councils, under which we have technical committees for various products. So we have total 650 technical committees. Conformity assessment, we give license against the particular product. For example, if you see here, cement is a mandatory product. So cement is IS 269, wherein we give license to the cement manufacturers. Similarly, HSD bar, the steel which is being used for construction of the buildings, is certifiable by BIS, so which is done by our certification department. So basically, we act as a third party in which we give assurance to both manufacturer and consumer that the product is conforming to that standard. So this is just a brief layout of our certification scheme. ISI mark. This ISI mark you must be seeing in cement bags, in HSD bar, in cold rolled coils, and buildings you must have seen in switch sockets. So that is ISI mark. Then this is compulsory registration scheme. This is a CRS scheme, which is for electronic products, for laptops, for mobiles, and management system certification scheme. And this is for the bottom one is for hallmarking scheme for gold, silver. So presently we have hallmarking for gold, and this is eco mark for which is used in plywoods, which is used in buildings for eco-friendly products. So this is just to give you a brief about the mandatory products. So what happens is that central government has the power to make any product mandatory. So they can make any standard mandatory, that this standard is mandatory. So all the manufacturers need to take license from BIS for manufacturing that product. So in India, for example, if you see for this topic, cement is a mandatory product in India. So here BIS has a very key role to give inputs that how sustainably we can manufacture cement. So we also have made standard for slag cement. So cement is a mandatory product. Then LPG cylinders, tires, uh, natural drinking water, packaged drinking water. This is just to give you an example. This is a foreign manufacturer certification scheme. As you all know that BIS is India is signatory of WTO. So we need to give the same platform to the foreign manufacturers also if the product is made mandatory. So under foreign manufacturer certification scheme, we give license to the foreign manufacturers who want to export the products which are mandatory in India. So if anyone wants to export steel into India, he has to follow the Indian standards if it is mandatory. So which is done by foreign manufacturer certification scheme. Now moving on to the topic, the roles of standards in addressing sustainability. So you must all be aware about the generic definition of sustainability. This is the state of global system including environmental, social, economic aspects in which the needs of the present are met without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. And sustainable development that meets environmental, social, and economic needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So this is the generic definition of sustainability and just sustainable development. So we have the following three aspects in which we focus on when we talk about sustainability is enhance peace and prosperity, eradicate poverty, and protect the planet. So we focus on three main pillars. So standards have an important role in supporting the three pillars of sustainability. Economic is because to facilitate trade, because by standards it is more easier for the other countries to also know what is the benchmark they need to follow. So it facilitates trade, improves countries' quality infrastructure, because through that document we are able to inculcate the quality consciousness in both manufacturers and consumers, and support sustainable business practices. Social, improve health and well-being, healthcare systems, healthcare products, social inclusion and accessibility. Environment is manage environment impact, adoption of technologies to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, energy consumption, and encourage responsible consumption. I'm very glad to inform you that we in BIS have taken up to include the sustainability clause in each IS, whether it is steel products, cement products, or civil engineering products, in which we will be forming a panel in which taking into account the country's present manufacturing status, what changes we can include in the sustainability clause, which needs to be followed by both the MSMEs and the large scale companies. So that thing is underway. So this is one example for you. This is pipe drinking water supply service management system. This is IS 17482. IS is Indian standard 2020. This is drinking water supply management system, requirements for pipe drinking water supply service. So this is one of the SDGs in which quality water to all, the requirements of quality management system of drinking water utility and services, ensuring that the water utility is able to provide continuous supply of drinking water, ensuring that the service provided as well as the water quality is up to the mark, and suggested guidelines are followed for the same. So the other is requirement for water efficient plumbing products. As you know, due to our change in lifestyle, our consumption of water has also increased. So this is just our initiative to control the water wastage. The water used as media for sanitizing and operation in sanitary ware and sanitary fittings. So rapid urbanization and increased use of plumbing products within building resulted in increased per capita water consumption. So the additional water resources are required, and extra pressure on water supply systems, generation of more sewage, requiring more infrastructure for sewage transportation and treatment of sewage. So this led to the concern of water shortage and the need for water consumption for conservation for future generation. So we have formulated standards for water efficient plumbing products to reduce water requirement and also to facilitate the water sewage system. So this is just to give you an example. IS Indian Standard 17650, which is published in two parts to cover the additional requirement of sanitary ware and sanitary fitting for the performance as water efficient plumbing products. So it covers the criteria for water efficiency rating, in which we provide rating and labeling of such products based on the flush volume oblique flush rates. The products can be rated as either 1 star, 2 stars, and 3 stars. Just as we have ratings in our electrical equipment like AC and fridge. So higher the number of stars, better is the water efficiency of the product. So sanitary ware, just to give an example, is water closets, squatting pans, flushing crystals, flushing walls, urinals, and for sanitary fitting, it is faucet tabs, shower heads, in which handheld showers, overhead showers. So this standard is there. Then this another is groundwater recharge. So groundwater is the water present beneath the earth's surface, as you all know. So this is just to give an standardized method, because when we are planning for smart cities, we also need to uh, ensure that the groundwater level is augmented by the rainfall and the rainwater does not go waste. So on that basis, IS 15792 2008, that is artificial recharge to groundwater guidelines, provide details of details of methods and techniques aimed at augmentation of groundwater resources by modifying the natural movement of surface water. So this is just a brief slide about the sustainability in steel production. As you all know that iron and steel making, which is through blast furnace, is one of the primary source of greenhouse gas emission. So to meet the goal of carbon neutrality by 2070, we are taking actions, which I said that we are trying to include sustainability clause in our steel products, ferrous and non-ferrous product standards. So reduction in carbon emissions, making decarbonization in steel production a reality in India. I'm sure countries in Europe are already working in this by using hydrogen as a reducing agent for making steel production in which less carbon emissions are there. So technological advancement in accelerating a sustainable transition. Steel makers that now to improve the sustainability of operation can get ahead of the evolving carbon regulations, addressing sustainability in standards and use of standards to address the sustainability in steel production. So this is just to give you an example in which the standards are formulated by ISO on calculation method of carbon dioxide intensity for iron and steel. So this is ISO 14404 part 1, part 2, and part 3, part 4, in which subsequent parts in which how to calculate the carbon dioxide emission intensity in blast furnace and electric arc furnace in direct reduction iron facility, DRI facility, is given, and part 4 is the guidance how to use these ISOs. So it is just a quote by our father of a nation, that we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it for our children. So it is for the future generation that we need to look into the sustainability more diligently now. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Yes, we have a question over there.
BIS has already recognized an IS code called IS 383, and they are given the guidelines on how to use the CND aggregates and other aggregates like steel slag aggregates or copper slags or iron slags. So they had given the guidelines how to use it and what is the specifications and but it's not it's covered in that IS code.
But we are getting into different form of aggregates, like aggregate.
Yeah, some are slag aggregates, some are sponge waste aggregates. So how to
So they had given the guidelines not only for iron and slag aggregates, they had given for the construction and demolition aggregates also. Like bricks or the concrete is also the waste product, so they had given the guidelines on how to use it. So you can use 20% in some of the grades and 25% in some of the grades. The but the main challenge in this C&D aggregates is first is the availability across all India in major of the cities, and second is the segregation of the material. So it is the main complex things which need to work on.
Namaskar and good morning everyone. I am Dr. Paul Ashmal from Central Pollution Control Board. Actually, I am agree with sir. Already there is standard for C&D waste, and in that particular standard issued by BIS, there is two types of aggregates in for C&D waste: recycled aggregate and recycled concrete aggregate. So there is actually stringent norms for use of the particular aggregates in terms of percentage. We may use RCA in higher amount than recycled aggregates, and that is, as sir told already, 20%, 25%, depending upon the concrete, nature of concrete. It may be plain concrete, lean concrete, reinforced concrete. So depending upon our target products, we may use in terms of percentage, and there is a variation for RCA specifically.
Okay.
Thank you.
It is given in website?
It is given in the BIS standard, and it is placed on BIS website also. Yes, sir.